At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
As draconian.
Sounds like one of the families in Game of Thrones.
This podcast contains graphic descriptions that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised. Now, with that being said, welcome to the Mortal Musings podcast.
Right, let's do this.
You always seem to think that I know all of the true crime cases.
In my experience, you do.
The other day, you turned to me and said, "Oh, Megan, what is that case? You know the case, what was the case? You know the case where the business partner kills his business partner?"
Right. Yeah, so please don't say any names because we did figure out in the end. You explained to the listeners exactly what I asked you.
What's the case where the business partner kills the business partner?
And I said it involves an Asian.
It involves one of the business partners was an Asian person.
I think so. But yeah, it was...
I just burst out laughing.
It was two business partners and one of the business partners killed the other business partner.
I stopped and looked at you and then I just burst out laughing because I realised you were being dead serious. You were hoping I would know from that description.
I was giving you the information I had.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly it wasn't enough. In fact, no, I think towards the end you went, I think I do know what case you're talking about.
I didn't though yet. I was thinking of something different.
Oh.
Yeah.
But let's see if our listeners, because you said you are going to cover it at some point.
I still need to have a look into it. You roughly told me what the case was, but I didn't actually.
It was a business partner who killed his business partner.
I don't know how you can be any clearer.
Let's see if our listeners can go, I know what case he's on about. But no. Right. It's not bad. I think you know all the cases. But when we've got true crime podcasters, we're not going to name and shame them, but if you've got a true crime podcast, if you've got a true crime podcaster who's been going 4 or 5 years, so been going, more than twice as much as what we have, and they're asking you, what was this case? What happened in this case?
Yeah,
and
but
you just name the person immediately.
Not always, but I do think I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who are into true crime, but when you're covering a case yourself, you're not necessarily retaining all the information because immediately you're studying something else and taking in more information.
Yeah.
So, like, I've seen loads of people, like, say, a crime con, and, like, someone's excited to talk to them about a case, and they're like, I can't quite remember. And you got to kind of jog their memory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah.
This is why when we were doing that Killer Knowledge on stage, you were going to win that out of the two of us anyway, because you could ask me questions about cases we've covered.
Mm.
You could ask me 10 questions. I would get 1. Possibly.
Mm.
Like that. My memory is really bad.
It's shockingly so.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've always been like that. Birthdays, I'm bad with that.
You can remember my birthday, can you?
I always get mixed up.
Between
25th and 27th.
What about your parents? They're not...
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Do you know what month?
I think one's in May, and then one maybe in June or July.
June, yeah.
One's in June.
Yeah.
And one's in...
May. Yeah.
So I got the months.
Yeah.
I don't even know the years. Like, if someone asks me how old my parents are, I'm like, no idea.
I do.
What, mine or yours?
Both. Yeah.
I know my brother's only because it's the same month as mine. I know your mother's because it's the same month as mine.
Yeah. You need to bring it back round to you self-centered prick.
Yeah. Basically. It's like, at CrimeCon, it's quite embarrassing for me if someone comes up to the table and they're like, oh my God, I love you guys. As soon as they say that, I know they've been listening to us, and it's like, I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. And then one of them will start talking to me going, I love it when, you covered this case. And I'll be like, I'll look at you immediately going, did we? If they say, I can't remember, did you cover this case? Ask her. Ask Megan. No idea. They're like, we're coming up to 100 episodes. I might be able to name 5.
Yeah, but again, I think if someone was to jog your memory, you might be able to kind of get there.
Yeah, but we can record an episode, release it the following week.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually our schedule. People will listen to it. And then they'll say, Neil, you were really acting the bollocks in this episode. When you talked about ladybirds. And then I turn to you and I'm like, when the fuck did I talk about ladybirds?
Yeah, that is actually really funny. Because obviously some of it is conversational. So you kind of forget. And then when someone brings it up again, it makes you laugh again. Oh, yeah. And you think we're putting this shite out there.
Yeah.
But hey, look, we're making people laugh. Before we continue, I do want to say I apologise if my voice sounds like absolute shit. Neil has infected me with whatever the fuck is wrong with him.
Right. It's real quick. So we can get on with the episode. So for about at least, and I'm not exaggerating with this, at least 4 weeks, every morning when I've woke up, my throat has fell off. Not sore or anything, it just fell off. And I kept saying, something's coming. I can feel something's coming. And I didn't know what it was. But usually I feel like that a day or 2 before I'm sick.
Yeah.
But this was 4 weeks. Every time I had a drink of water, I could feel like it was like a mild sore throat sort of thing.
Yeah.
I could feel something was there.
Mm.
And then there was one day at work, there was a co-worker who had actually physically been sick. There was someone else.
2. One was actually sick, vomiting.
Mum phoned in.
No, one of them went home early. So he literally said to me, I don't feel well, I have a fever. And I was like, oh shit, he isn't well because he never calls in, never anything wrong with him.
Yeah.
And then he was off for 2 weeks.
And then the other worker came up to us and went, I've just been sick. At this point, I'm sat at the back door with the door open, trying to get some air. And Megan turns to this worker and goes, yeah, he's been dramatic. He's saying he's got something. And I was livid. So I held on to that for weeks.
Yeah.
Now her throat started out, for about 2 or 3 days, I'd say I was ill. There was this massive build-up, and then it was 2 or 3 days where my throat was absolutely fucked. We were supposed to record, and I was like, no chance. Absolutely no chance. And then that was it. Mine's starting to wean off. I can still feel something in my throat, especially in the morning. And now Megan started, so it's
but all I have is a sore throat.
It'll get worse.
We'll see.
This is what you have now for about 3 weeks.
Well, thank you for not recording and leaving it till my throat is fucked to try and tell the case. But yeah, that's very, very good of you, Neil.
Well, it serves you right for saying I'm dramatic.
You are, though.
I'm anything but dramatic.
Fuck off. Anything but. You are the drama queen.
So we've got 2 shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
2 new patrons. 2 more people who find us that entertaining. They're like, I've got to hear more.
Must be something wrong with them.
Got to hear more. I think it's Neil's Nuggets what pulls people in. I've got to hear Neil telling a case.
Probably, yeah.
It's got to be that. It's either that or the knock and back where we're just pissed up talking about anything.
Bollocksology,
usually complaining. So our first one is Anita.
Another great one to say with a Dublin accent, don't you think?
The floor is yours.
Anita. Yeah.
So for me, it's Nita.
Nita. Yeah, again, just shortening it.
But for a nickname, I thought Knit.
Knit Nat.
No, knit. Like a
just
knit. Knit in your hair, like. It's called a knit.
All right. Thank you, Knit. Appreciate you. Next we have Katie or Kate. Another great one for a Dublin accent. K-E. Huh?
See, that's how you say it.
And then, yeah, a good one for a northern accent as well.
Katie.
Katie. It's just a
do
noise.
not sound like that
it's just
at all.
It's just a noise.
Katie.
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 Say Nita.
What?
Say Nita.
Nita.
Nita. There's actually, there's between those two names, there's quite a lot of vowels, which is Neil's natural enemy. The natural enemy of a Yorkshireman.
Is it?
Vowels, yes. Any other plays on Katie?
Katai.
What?
Katai.
Katai.
Well, look. K-A-Tai. Katai.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel here, aren't we? Well, thank you, Katie. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and hopefully you're enjoying the bonus content as much as you're enjoying the regular shite.
We're going to break for a sec while we give you guys a quick podcast recommendation. Welcome to The Bourne Investigation, where mysteries are unravelled and crimes are dissected. Join host Charlie Bourne as she delves into the darkest corners of the human psyche to bring you gripping true crime stories that will leave you on the edge of your seat. From unsolved murders to shocking disappearances, each episode explores the facts, evidence, and theories surrounding a different crime. Find The Bourne Investigation wherever you get your podcasts.
Speaking of regular shite, what you got for us today?
I don't think any of this should be considered regular shite, Neil. We're talking about murder.
This is a murder.
This is a murder. I don't think burial leasing is like the most regular sounding shite anyway, but it's a part of life and we got to learn about it. Today we are talking about the murder of Maddie Clifton. But before we talk about Maddie, we need to talk about Josh Phillips.
Sorry, are you saying Maddie or Matty?
Maddie.
Girl?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you were saying Matty.
Matty.
Like Machu?
No, I'd say Matty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, it sounds very similar in Yorkshire tongue. Matty,
Yeah.
Maddie.
Maddie. Joshua Earl Patrick Phillips was born on the 17th of March 1984 to parents Steve and Melissa. Josh did not have the easiest of childhoods. His father struggled with substance abuse, both drugs and alcohol. His father was said to be abusive towards both Josh and his mother, and expected them to follow rules which he imposed. One of them being that he did not want other children in their home, particularly girls.
Oh.
His dislike towards girls even caused worry to Melissa during her pregnancy, not knowing how her husband would react. She was praying for a boy.
See, my parents didn't like other kids coming in our house because they didn't want the responsibility. They were like, you two are enough as it is. I'm not being responsible for what you do with your stupid mates.
See, it was kind of the opposite for me growing up. My house was the one that was quicker to have kids over.
See, mine wasn't. And even I wasn't allowed in the house a lot because I could sound like a fucking dog. But, right, we were talking about it the other day. My generation drank from the hosepipe, the outdoor fucking tap.
No, you're so hard and fucking edgy.
Like, listeners, especially in Britain, but I bet this was international. I bet we've got Americans, Canadians, Australians, whose parents said this one line. You're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
If I was out with my mates and I came in to get a glass of Coke or a piece of fruit, I could come in to use the toilet and then I'd go back out. And then I might come back in and get something else. Oh, I want this toy to take to someone's house. So I go and get this toy. And then all you'd hear, you would never see them. You'd just hear the voice. You're either in or you're out.
Yeah, I think, like you said, your parents didn't want the responsibility, whereas my parents kind of looked at it more of like, if you're there, I know what you're doing. If something's to happen, at least I'm there to help or whatever.
My parents never had an issue with me sleeping over at anyone's fucking house.
No, do you know
because
what?
It was their responsibility then.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's something I've heard more recently, that parents are like, I'm not having my child sleep over, which I completely understand. You don't know who the hell these people are really, or what's going on in their house. But yeah, when I was younger, it was just normal. It's like, can I stay at Sarah's house? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I wasn't abused by my parents. Like they did take care of me.
What, you worried they're going to sue you if they hear
No,
this?
I'm just being a bit dramatic for comedic
You
effect.
being dramatic?
But I did drink from the outdoor tap more than I did the indoor one.
More?
Yeah, easy. Do you know what else I used to drink from a lot? If I got really thirsty?
Oh, God.
If we were ever, got the super soakers out or the water bombs. I used to pierce the water bomb and drink from it because I was thirsty. Because I couldn't go in the house, so I'd get shouted at.
Are you okay? Both Josh and Melissa were said to have lived in fear of his father's volatile and unpredictable behaviour. Someone who provided some relief from the constant anxiety and emotional abuse was Josh's two half-brothers, Daniel and Benji.
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 I only know one Benji. Gobshite.
Added to the list. Although there was an 11-year age gap, Josh and Daniel were incredibly close, spending much of their time together. But in 1997, Josh's father made the decision to relocate the family from Pennsylvania to Florida. And Josh effectively lost his support system.
Just off topic, have you seen Pennsylvania at the minute?
No.
Oh no, it's not Pennsylvania, it's Philadelphia. Well, no, same thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a massive. I don't think it's a strike. It's something to do with there's no government bin service anymore.
Oh, they're privatising it?
Fucking look at the videos because no one's collecting the rubbish.
Mm.
The side of the roads, it's like Paris. It's just shit everywhere.
That was an instant in Paris when they went on strike. It's not like Paris is just filled. Like, fuck's sake.
But yeah, no, like look at it. It's mountains of just shit at the side of the road. It's going to be a tough job once they actually have a company to do it.
Worse than Sheffield now, isn't it?
Do you mean by that?
Josh wasn't the most outgoing kid when it came to school or recreational activities. He was a C-average student, generally considered a nice kid, liked by his classmates, and was described as fun and silly, but not someone who stood out. Activities outside of school included walking the family dog and occasionally playing softball. His neighbours viewed him as a quiet and friendly kid, including Sheila Clifton. Since moving to Jacksonville, Josh had become quite friendly with Sheila's kids, Jessie and Maddie, and the three would often spend time together. Madeline Ray Clifton was born on the 17th of June 1990 to parents Sheila and Steve in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, I need to hold back on my Florida comments now because our listenership in Florida is growing. So I don't want to push it.
Don't hold back. They signed up for this. Affectionately known as Maddie, she was an energetic child with a bubbly personality and a smile that could only be described as infectious.
What
word?
What, she had a gum infection?
No. Infectious. Like when she
Rotten
smiled,
teeth.
when she smiled, you smiled.
No, an infection is bad. It's
Infectious. Passing it on.
doesn't matter which way you say it. It's infection.
She had a lovely smile and it made people happy.
Okay. I thought it meant she'd got like a rotten mouth.
No. I meant it in a nice way. That was how her smile was described.
Yeah, but
clearly you're not
yeah,
a fan of the word.
that
the choice word.
that description means different to me. Means that they've got a rotten mouth.
She was adored by those around her. Maddie was one of two kids. She and her older sister Jessie were said to have had a very close bond with their parents. Her enthusiasm was evident in the hobbies she chose, whether it be playing piano or football. She was always ready to dive into a new activity. Quote,
It's a bit different, isn't it?
What?
Piano and football.
Well, that's the point they're making. Like, Maddie was just energetic, enthusiastic. Whatever she tried her hand at, she gave her all.
Hmm.
Quote, her ability to switch from the grace of a ballerina to the strength of a football player showcased the multifaceted nature of her personality. On the 3rd of November 1998, Maddie heads over to Josh's house and asks if he wants to come out and play baseball with her. Now, remember, Josh's father doesn't like other kids being at the house. But seeing as his father was at work, Josh agreed and the two played together. While playing baseball, Josh accidentally hits the ball into Maddie's eye. Maddie starts bleeding and Josh is terrified that he's going to get in trouble and frantically tries to calm Maddie down.
See, this is where kids are so selfish. Every single kid. I don't know at what age does it stop. He hit that ball into that poor girl's face. And immediately it's, I'm worried I'm going to get in trouble. Not, I'm worried she's permanently, partially blind or concussed.
Kids are like that in general. Yes, it's please don't tell mum.
Yeah.
But in this situation, Josh was afraid of his father and what was going to happen. He already shouldn't have had Maddie there. So Maddie is screaming and crying. She's become very upset with this. And in a panic, Josh grabs Maddie and drags her into the house.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so Josh is freaking out. And Maddie, I'm sure, was in even more distress after being dragged into the house.
Yeah.
And she is continuously screaming. Josh knew his father was expected home soon. And in order to silence her screams, Josh hits Maddie in the head with a baseball bat multiple times. He then removes the mattress from his bed and places her in the base of the bed.
Fucking took a turn, this. This could have easily been fucking not happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word then. This could have easily been not happened.
Avoided.
Avoided. Fuck's sake. I'm a podcaster. That could have been so easily avoided.
Yeah.
That's fucking hell. How old was she?
8.
Fucking hell.
Later on, Josh returns to his room and can hear Maddie underneath his bed, groaning in pain. His father is now home. He can't let his dad know he had a girl over to the home, let alone see what he had done to Maddie. He removes the mattress and stabs Maddie twice in the neck with a pocket knife before stabbing her a further 7 times to the chest.
Fucking hell.
It was past 5 p.m. that evening, and Maddie still hadn't come home for dinner. Panic starts to set in, and Maddie is reported missing. The following day, search parties are sent out, comprised of both police and hundreds of volunteers, including Josh. Flyers were handed out, offering a $100,000 reward. The entire community was rocked by this, and everyone was following the news closely for any updates. On the 10th of November, just as Maddie's parents were being interviewed for the TV about the disappearance, Josh's mother Melissa enters her son's room. She notices a damp patch on the floor and some tape on the corner of his bed, which was being used to hold the frame together. Now, Josh had a waterbed, so her immediate thought is, shit, the bed has burst. She lifts up the mattress to find Maddie's body, her hand still clutching onto the bed frame.
Fucking hell. And waterbed? Like, what was that trend?
Yeah, I don't know.
Never appealed to me at all.
Looks like you can never get comfortable.
Well, with my toenails, I'd burst it. Never appealed to me at all. You'd get seasick.
Apart from her socks, Maddie's clothing had been removed from the lower half of her body. Melissa immediately leaves the house and goes straight to the police. She would later say, quote, "I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. I just pointed to where they needed to look. I couldn't even go in." After 7 days looking for Maddie, the search ended with a devastating conclusion. So, an incredibly difficult position for Melissa to be put in. To be the one to find the body of this little girl, especially knowing that everyone was actively, desperately trying to find her. And then the realisation that it was your son who had killed her, and now you have to turn him in. You also have to remember that she was in this house, and every night for a week, Josh was sleeping in his bed, knowing that Maddie's body was laid beneath him.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Once police were notified of the discovery, they go to Josh's school, where he was arrested and taken to the police station. During questioning, Josh admits to what he had done and is charged with first-degree murder. Now, the scary thing is, the police had already searched homes in the area, including Josh's, 3 times.
And they didn't think of looking under the bed?
Well, this is the thing. So that was kind of just the routine check all the houses in the area, you know? It wasn't like Josh was a suspect. But when police did check his home, they were said to have mistaken the smell of decomp for Josh's pet birds, which he kept in his room.
Does decomp smell like pet birds?
I've never actually had pet birds. I don't know what they smell like, or if it's a case he wasn't taking care of them properly and the cages were a bit of a mess.
When I was a kid growing up, we had a couple of budgies.
Did they stink?
No.
Oh.
Not really. And decomp is supposed to be one of them things where...
Undeniable.
Well, it's not just, but it's undeniable. It's strong. Like, when you smell it, you fucking smell it. I get that more with cat piss than I do with bird. Cat
piss is absolutely brutal. I am so glad that Ty always uses litter. Like, a cat that you used to have in the UK, you went into your wardrobe and pissed all over your clothes.
This went on for I don't know how long. So I had a massive wardrobe, what I got from IKEA, and it had a massive shelf on it at the bottom. And I'd have, when it got to like winter and stuff, all my shorts and like my summer t-shirts would all be folded up on this shelf. And then when it get to summer, the winter stuff would come down and I'd put the summer stuff up to hang. And he would lay on that shelf. And I just thought, he's found himself a little safe space, a little nook. And then it got to summer.
What's that smell?
I started clearing that shelf and I picked up a pair of shorts and I was like, why are these piss wet through?
Had he kept going back there as a toilet?
Every fucking item on that shelf was destroyed.
Yeah, so it was his toilet now.
Yes.
It wasn't just a one-off thing.
Oh no, but he was laying in it as well.
Oh, that's a bad sign though, isn't it?
Well, he lived for years after that, so he was just an ignorant prick. Like, but yeah, pissing in my wardrobe.
I can only imagine your face. I don't know if we've ever said it, but this same cat also got into his litter box, scratched around, then stuck his arse out onto the floor and took a shit on the floor while staring into Neil's eyes.
You're missing an important step. So he was digging around in his litter tray, looked at me, made eye contact, stuck his ass out and shat on the floor.
Brilliant.
I chased him around that fucking house.
I can picture your face while it was happening. Like, you would be like, don't you? Oh my God. But I mean, the only incident we've ever had with Ty is one time when he was a kitten, he shit in my shoe. He dragged it. I had it on like a clothes rack on the bottom shelf thing, and he dragged it off, shit in it, and then like hid it behind the rack.
Yeah.
It was a pair of heels that had like a mesh kind of bit over the toe and everything. So they were, I mean, you're not getting that out of it.
There was actually something about 2 days ago. He jumped out of his litter tray. He was clearly constipated or something and dragged his hole across the floor and then went onto the rug, dragged his ass on the rug, piece of shit fell out and he just walked off. Done. It's like, yeah, that's how it's done.
He got the job done, put it that way. But it wasn't very nice for me having to clean it up. But yeah.
Still warm.
Overall, we don't really have any issues with Ty. He did go into his litter first. He was just having a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
So as far as the odour in Josh's room, it was also said that Josh had tried to hide the odour by using air fresheners and burning incense.
Not Lynx Africa?
No, well, no, it would have been too early for that, wouldn't it? We're talking late 90s.
Lynx Africa would be around then.
Was
but over there they call it Axe.
Yeah, Axe body spray.
Yeah, Axe would have been around late 90s.
No, but I mean the Africa one.
Africa one of the first.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologise. The trial began on the 6th of July 1999. Due to how high profile this case had become, the trial was moved from Jacksonville to Bartow, 200 miles away. During the trial, there were some concerns in regards to the validity of Josh's version of what actually happened the day of the murder. The prosecution believed that Maddie was in the house before she received any type of injury and argued that the murder was sexually motivated. Their reason for believing this is that Josh had stated that while dragging Maddie into the house, her shorts and underwear had slipped down. The prosecution said that there was not significant amounts of dirt or sand found on her body that would indicate that she had been dragged. They also claimed that there was no blood found in the yard. It was said that Josh had also previously talked about sex with Maddie and her sister Jessie.
He talked about sex to an 8-year-old girl?
Mm-hmm.
Wrongin'.
Results from the autopsy determined that Maddie had been struck in the head 3 times, stab wounds to her neck and chest, but no evidence of sexual assault were found. His defence argued that the murder was not premeditated, and therefore Josh should be convicted of manslaughter. Quote, "We're not here to act out some form of vengeance." He also stated that the murder of Maddie was, quote, "an act that began as an accident and deteriorated through panic that bordered on madness."
Yeah, he weren't thinking straight, but I don't know, how do you go from a minor fucking incident to, right, I'm going to bash your head in?
Well, there was 2 pieces of evidence that were both deemed inadmissible. The first from the defence, which was Josh's brain scans, which showed some bilateral lesions on the frontal lobe. This was presented as evidence of his panic and impaired judgment. It seems fair enough.
Mm.
The second from the prosecution, which was that Josh had used his computer to view pornography. Now, Josh was a 14-year-old boy at the time.
Mm.
Unless the content was particularly disturbing, depicting violence or sexual assault, I don't really see what the fuck that's got to do with anything.
Yeah, like you've got to think, when I was around that age, it was like 2 girls, 1 cup, and there was something to do with a vicar and blue cheese.
Blue waffle.
Blue waffle.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. It's
and we
not,
were Bluetoothing them to each other.
It's not an argument of your personal opinions on pornography. It's an issue of, is it generally speaking normal for a 14-year-old boy at that time to use a computer to access pornography? I would say yes.
Yes. As soon as internet came about, obviously one of the first things what started was porn. That's all teenagers did. It's all teenagers used the internet for.
Mm.
That and Bebo.
Fucking Bebo. So, remember I mentioned earlier, Josh had actually joined the search for Maddie. He would later say about this, quote, "I was putting myself in a fantasy world, that nothing had happened. That was my defence mechanism for everything when I was a kid.
Bollocks.
I never made the decision to ignore it. I just did."
Bollocks.
You're not buying it at all?
No, not at all. You were doing it to try and look innocent. Done.
After a 2-day trial, the jury deliberated for just over 2 hours before returning a guilty verdict. Josh was said to have appeared emotionless while the verdict was read, while the judge chose the word monstrous to describe his crime. Now, Josh was tried as an adult, but given that he was under the age of 16, he was able to avoid the death penalty. He was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Okay, so, yeah, life imprisonment. Monstrous? No. He was selfish and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say monstrous.
No, I mean, it's a hideous crime to commit.
He's an idiot. He's a kid.
Well, the state attorney said of the trial, quote, "This case was open and shut. There aren't any great explanations." Which, I mean, kind of yes and no. I think there's a bit more to it. I don't think it's just a kid who did this evil thing because he wanted to.
No, he panicked.
There's also a reason why the trial only lasted 2 days. There's definitely some issues in regards to Josh's defence. The first being that Josh claimed that his attorney never talked with him about the murder or what actually happened. His strategy was unusual. He didn't call a single witness and had Josh remain silent throughout the trial. Josh's mother did not agree with how the case was handled by his attorney, but his father was happy to just leave it to the lawyer to handle it as he saw fit. So, Josh has also said himself that he didn't really want to talk about it. He was just kind of in denial. Other than admitting that, yes, I did this, he wasn't keen to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yes, did state my attorney never tried to talk about it. Anytime he visited him while he was in custody, he would go and spend time with him, play chess with him or something. He wasn't going to work on the case, it seems.
Yeah.
Josh has stated that he's unsure if he deserves a second chance, but that he hopes for one. In 2017, after the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional for a juvenile to receive a mandatory life sentence, Josh was resentenced. He again received a life sentence, but with the possibility of review after 25 years served. Two officials who were largely responsible for the sentence that Josh received have since changed their opinion, with one of them describing the sentence given as draconian and wished that he had offered a plea of second-degree murder.
Who's that?
One of the prosecutors.
Draconian?
Yeah. Like barbaric, outdated.
What?
It's barbaric, it's outdated.
I thought it was a name of the prosecutor.
Where are you getting that?
Because I just said, what's that? And you said the prosecutor.
No, you said who's that, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, the prosecutor said this, and he described the sentence given as draconian.
Sounds like one of the families in Game of Thrones.
A psychologist testified that he believes Josh had been rehabilitated and that he is truly remorseful. Quote, he had feelings of hopelessness, despair, probably suicide, which is not surprising given the psychological abusive treatment by his father. He has moved beyond that period, and that will not become a part of his life again.
I just want to say, before this goes any further, but the father should not be getting any fucking backlash for this at all. It's his house, it's his rules. If he said, I don't want any fucking kids or aren't mine in this house.
Absolutely not. That is a ridiculous statement to make.
It's his house, it's his rules.
No, his house?
Yeah.
What about Josh's mother? Does she not get a say? Does Josh not get to have friends?
He has friends, but he didn't have to have them in the house.
No, I think you're being absolutely ridiculous here. I think that is insane.
Oh.
Who says that Josh's father is the sole person? Like, what he says goes.
Well, the mother's not really saying no, so she obviously agrees.
Because she was being emotionally abused by the father as well.
Oh. Okay. So I got that wrong. You're just staring at me to make me fucking just ramble on. It's not going to work. Okay.
No, I get what you're saying, but I think that's you sound like a misogynistic piece of shit.
No, right, he was a piece of shit. I'm not denying that. He was a piece of shit. But in relation to the murder of this 8-year-old girl, it's got nothing to do with the father.
Who said it did?
I could see that's where you were going.
No, I believe the effects of his treatment contributed, absolutely. I don't think the father did anything to actually cause her death. But, I mean, it has a knock-on effect. No?
Yeah.
So like I said about the psychologist, he believes that Josh has been rehabilitated, he is remorseful, and he doesn't think it's going to be an issue in his life going forward. He then says, quote, I feel pretty confident about him, which I know he can't say without a shadow of a doubt, but pretty confident doesn't instill a huge amount of faith. During resentencing, Josh stated, quote, I do understand pain. I've become quite intimate with suffering. Growing up in prison, I've seen many dark things and have been in some dark places. I don't pretend to know or understand your pain or grasp the void that I've created in your lives.
Intimate with suffering. A bit poetic, isn't it?
I mean, you gotta find something to pass the time in prison, don't you?
No, but you know, if I was on the jury, someone like me on the jury, and the person's on the stand and they're like, I've become intimate with, what is that?
Suffering.
I became intimate with suffering. I'd be like, bin the cunt.
So, wait, hang on. You're saying that you have less sympathy for someone who's got a larger vocabulary or tries to get a little bit more creative in how they word things, or
No, because I'd see it
that
as
what you're
they've
getting
been. I'd see it as they've been snide. It. They're like, I'm really trying to make myself look innocent when I'm
by
clearly
using the word
fucking-
intimate.
Yeah. Right, there's nothing worse than when you're in a conversation with someone, and it's like having a conversation with someone like Russell Brand. They're just constantly using big fucking words.
Pseudo-intellectual.
Yeah, you do it all the time. What was that fucking word you used
Do
earlier?
not compare me to Russell Brand. What the fuck?
But yeah, I'd be just disinterested immediately as soon as I started hearing shit like that. I'd be like, right, they're hiding something.
What word did I use that you've took issue with?
It began with a B. I thought it was like a Lord of the Rings term.
D. Draconian.
Yeah.
That wasn't my choice of words. That was how he chose to describe it.
Okay. And then there was a word you used earlier, which I assume it meant valid. But you're like,
Validity.
yeah. Why don't you just say it's valid? Like, it's not difficult.
Why don't you just say big dog when you mean wolf?
That's not the same.
Why
at
is it
all.
not?
That's not the same.
Wolves,
At all.
right. If you were to say wolves, that's
Yeah.
a harder word to pronounce than big dogs.
Yeah, but a big dog is a cane corso. It's a bull mastiff.
No, but going by your logic, someone's going to they're going to know what you're driving at. If you keep describing this big dog to them.
Yeah.
You know, I really like big dogs. You know, you see them out in the woods and shit. They travel in packs. People are like, do you mean wolves? And you go, yes. I choose not to use that word.
That is not the same as saying something's valid and validity. Do you know what you are? Barcelona.
Barcelona. That's actually you. You're so fucking ignorant with that shit. Like, I'll go, oh yeah, in Barcelona, I had some this, that, and the other whatever food. And you'll be like, fucking, it's Barcelona.
The one that really
Actually.
annoys me with you, because I've corrected you, I don't know how many times, and now I've give up after years.
Mhm.
You say limoncello.
It is limoncello.
It's limoncello.
It's limoncello.
It's cello. It's fucking cello.
You want to? I wish our listeners could see what you just did with your mouth. You you pressed your tongue against your teeth with that one. Eyes widened and everything. So back to Josh.
Mm-hmm.
He has said that there's been many times while in prison that he's thought about all the things that he's missed out on, particularly because he spent his younger years incarcerated. But he quickly reminds himself that he's the reason for Maddie missing out on these life experiences too. He has also said that he does not want to apologise to Maddie's parents through letters, but through a face-to-face interaction.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, Maddie's mother has declined his offer.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They'd spit in his face.
Prosecutor Bernie De La Rionda stated, quote, "This is one of those cases that stands out in terms of the impact on the community. I'm so sorry that the victim's family is having to go through this again."
Like, out of all the cases you've told me, not just on the podcast, what you've told me over the past fucking decade, this is what stands out about this to me is it could have been so fucking easily avoidable.
Yeah.
It was an accident when you were playing baseball.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, shit happens. He could have, I know he was panicked about his father and all that, I get it. He could have ran over to Maddie's house or one of the neighbours or, something.
The worst thing that could have happened is Maddie's parents would have sued against their parents for medical bills. Done.
Yeah.
That is the worst. And maybe she was lost sight in one eye. But she'd live.
In 2017, nearly 20 years after the murder of Maddie, Josh's brother Daniel said, quote, "I wish he had never left Pennsylvania, but I could say that a million times and that's not going to change anything. Our father took him away from me. He would have had me. He would have had Benji. He would have been an uncle to my kid, and he would have assimilated into my life here. But when they went down there, he had nobody. And that was my father's choice. It didn't matter, how much we begged him not to. My father did what he was going to do, and nobody would have anything to do with it."
He could have been an uncle, but you wouldn't let him play baseball with your kid.
Josh's father has since passed away. He was killed in a car accident in the year 2000. Following his death, Maddie's mother did reach out to Josh's mother to offer her condolences. This is a horrible situation for everyone involved. Something like this happening has a profound ripple effect to those surrounding. Suddenly, Melissa isn't Melissa. She's the mother of the boy who killed Maddie. Jessie isn't Jessie. She's Maddie's sister. Jessie knew how difficult this was for not only her family, but also Josh's. Jessie would later say about Melissa, quote, "She was such a sweet and kind person. She didn't deserve what happened." Jessie was clearly an incredibly compassionate young girl and chose to help Melissa rather than ostracize her from the community. She'd run over to help her with the shopping bags or walk the dog for her. She understood that Melissa had also lost a son. The death of Maddie also caused difficulty for her parents, Steve and Sheila. Sheila wanted to talk about it, whereas Steve was said to have shut down. In regards to Josh, it's a difficult one. On one hand, you have a kid who'd been abused and traumatised by his father, and people do crazy things when they're scared. And you have to remember, he was only 14 years old. On the other side of the argument, he stabbed her in the throat twice, 7 times to the chest, after already hitting her in the head with a baseball bat. You could argue overkill.
Yes. And, going back to the sexual thing, don't they say stabbing is a form of sexual?
Yeah, people have said that, and they also argue, when it's close range, that kind of thing. But I don't think that applies here. I think it was, he wasn't an adult who had access to a gun or something.
Yeah.
It was, in that moment, it was panicked, it was frantic.
Because I'm just, well, for a start, he's 14, why he's got a knife in his bedroom?
He had a pocket knife.
Okay. But I'm just trying to think, on the side of Maddie's parents, it wouldn't matter how much evidence the police showed me that there wasn't sexual assault. If the police have already put it in my head at the beginning that she was stripped from the waist down, and all the other stuff, it wouldn't matter how much evidence you told me there wasn't. She was. Or she could have been.
You wouldn't be able to get the idea out of your head.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a horrible detail, but the fact that Maddie was still holding onto the bed frame, she was alive when she was being placed underneath the bed. This surely leans towards the notion that this attack was panicked. It doesn't seem that Josh was particularly taking pleasure from what he had done, and that once he had placed her there, he left her there. He didn't go back to the body and try to move her or anything. Like he said, he simply went into a state of denial.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. I see both sides of the argument. When I think of it, it's, oh my God, that's overkill. Of course it is.
Yeah.
But like I said, it is clearly panicked. It is clearly hide her body. What do I do? What I can't get it found out.
Yeah.
I don't know. At the school that Maddie had once attended, San Jose Catholic School, a playground was built in her memory. At her funeral, the church was filled with those who wished to pay their respects, while thousands of others lined the streets. Maddie's life came to an end at just 8 years of age, but the feelings of warmth and joy she imprinted on others will surely last a lifetime. And that is the murder of Maddie Clifton.
Yeah, that was fucking rough. But I don't know how many times I can say it. The bit what's standing out to me is how avoidable it was. Ridiculously avoidable. For an 8-year-old girl.
Yeah. It's a horrible crime, but then, like I said, you also, Jessie saying that, like, at the end of the day, Melissa's lost a son. She hasn't done anything wrong. She is still feeling the effects of being known as that woman.
Yeah.
There was, one instant where I think she said she was at church and a woman came up to her and go, "Oh, are you Josh Phillips' mother?" And she's like, "Oh my God." But when she said yes, the woman hugged her and,
yeah,
it was kind of like, "I'm so sorry that this happened."
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you hear stuff like that. Like, I know there's a case in Scotland. It's still, I want to say it's unsolved.
There's been a conviction, but there's a lot of questions around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that mother, like, I watched a documentary on that case, and basically the lad at the time who's been arrested, he's still incarcerated. They're fighting to get him out. They're saying he's not guilty. But when it happened, the mother of the murder suspect, she had her own little business where she had all these motorhomes and caravans and stuff, what she'd sell. A flock of people, public, came, basically smashed up all of her business. So that was a business done. Smashed up all of them. She's now living in a house where she's got no electric. She's got no running water. Her health is diminishing.
Yeah, she's living in worse conditions than her son who was in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, like, the details of the case is fucking horrific. There's so much.
Yeah, it's very brutal murder.
Well, it's not just the brutality, the shock value of, like, how the case was handled and stuff. But for me, it was the mother. Like, I was tearing up when they were interviewing the mother. She's fucked. Like, I don't mean to sound so blunt. But
yeah, no, I know what you mean. It, again, like we said with this, it's the ripple effect it has on everyone surrounding. It's horrible.
So, yeah, you got to think for Josh's mom, you know, and then Maddie's parents, Maddie's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. It doesn't just affect the victim. It doesn't just affect the police who are investigating it, you know. Like you said, the dribble effect is yeah.
Well, I said ripple.
Ripple. What did I say?
Dribble.
Dribble effect. Dribble. There you go. That's a new one.
Yeah. We'll try and work that into the next episode. So, yeah, I mean, we will probably cover that case at some point that you're talking about.
Anyone in Scotland knows exactly what case I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
But to do with the murder of Maddie and how it happened, are you leaning one way? Do you think, like I said, there's kind of more to it and there's more to consider as to why Josh did it? Or do you think he did it because he wanted to do it?
So there is a couple of things. When I was 14, I weren't knocking about with 8-year-olds.
He was friends with Maddie's. I found that a bit weird, but Maddie's sister was closer to his age. So I assume it was they were friends and also Maddie, the younger sister.
Yeah, but I had mates who had younger siblings who tried tagging along. And I'd always be like, tell your sister to fuck off. Tell your brother to fuck off.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I did find that part of it slightly odd. That wasn't my experience as a kid. But I mean...
My gut is telling me he might have been playing baseball with an 8-year-old girl. But my gut's telling me he wanted to kill her. Yeah,
I don't really know. I really don't like the overkill aspect of this, but then I can't shake the feeling of how scared and traumatized he was and how people can react in those situations.
Yeah, there is, but there's so many people who've been abused.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's an excuse.
They haven't reacted in any way.
Yeah, no. But it's if we go by his sequence of events, that an accident happened and he panicked and then he got into that kind of, what do I do now? How do I handle this? You know, that's when it creeps in. I kind of go, you know.
The only way I would believe 100% his story is if a medical examiner at the time said there is a ball-shaped, there is an injury to her eye that's consistent with a sphere shape. Because they can do that. Fuck me, they'll tell you when a fire stick has been used. That just by the fucking grooves. If the ball had hit her that hard, it would have left evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So unless a body examiner tells me that, yes, 100% a ball or something round with stitching hit her in the eye, there is evidence of that.
Yeah.
Then I believe it. But without that, I'm leaning more to it doesn't look good for you, Josh. Right. Lift us back up. Oddity.
Poultry cannibalism.
Fucking poultry. So we're back to birds again.
I actually wrote this one up before the seagulls. The seagulls one was kind of a last minute one.
And crows.
Yeah.
Tell them.
That was you.
Tell them I wasn't talking bollocks about the crows.
Yeah, there was an article that said they'd peck someone's head.
Just one head.
Well, no, it was multiple people.
Described as a massacre.
No. A crow had pecked someone's head.
Called Russell.
Russell Crowe. I didn't even pick up on that.
How did you not pick up on that?
I swear to God. Went right over my head. Russell the Crowe. He pecked someone's head. Another person he drew, or maybe was it the same person? I can't remember, but he drew blood. So another woman said, I'm not going into the woods. I'm scared of Russell the Crowe. And that's how Russell the Crowe terrorised Sheffield. It's going to be made into a movie pretty soon, lads.
But that was just Russell.
Yeah.
What I was looking
The
at...
article was from 2019. So you're talking about someone else.
Not someone else. Is fucking...
Sorry.
A flock.
No,
it was all crows. They were just going mental.
Were they?
Yeah.
Do you think there like someone had done something like did someone like poison the water or?
If Russell was about in 2019, it wasn't him chasing me at full speed.
Yeah, it was his granddaddy. Yeah. How long do crows live?
Not 20 years.
No, I know, but I'm saying was it his grandfather or his great grandfather?
I don't know.
Was it just his father? I don't know.
I've never had one.
Anyway, poultry cannibalism. Did you know that chickens are a bunch of cannibalistic bastards?
The roosters are, aren't they?
Chickens.
Oh.
In general. Maybe more roosters because aggressive little shits. Poultry will peck, tear, and consume the skin, tissue, and even organs of others in their flock.
Oh, I thought you meant eating eggs.
No.
Oh.
I have heard of that though.
Yeah.
But no, I mean like flesh.
Oh.
Bloodlust. Yeah.
Let's say pigs are the same. They eat anything. So if you
Pigs?
if you chucked a dead pig in a pen and didn't feed that pig, it
they'll
would
eat
eat
anything.
that pig.
Yeah. That's pigs. We were to talk about poultry. That sounded weird. Poultry. It is not a behaviour that is inherently ingrained in chickens and other poultry. It's more of a case that you could see an outbreak of cannibalism. There's many factors which feed into their cannibalistic behaviours, such as overcrowding, excessive heat or light, insufficient access to water or feed, and don't forget about the pecking order. If an injured bird is not removed from the pen, then the bigger boys might come over and attack the injured fella. You've also got to remember all the other wannabe chicken shits that'll come over and have a pop at the weekend as well. It's just going to spread.
There's always one.
But I mean, do you remember in school?
Yes.
They had the popular kids.
That's what popped into my head.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You had the bully and then you had the mate of the bully.
And they were so much worse.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you can't sit down, Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah, they were usually called Kevin or James or something.
I had one called Sam.
Sam.
Yeah, I like the name Sam.
No, I like the name Samuel.
Okay.
It's
you're like, no,
it's
I
like
Samuel.
I'm not bothered about the name Luke, but I like Lucas. I'm not bothered about Mark, but I like Marcus.
I like both.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, when they become stressed out and or attempting to assert dominance, they can start pecking at another bird, which can lead to an open wound and then bleeding. And once this happens, you need to nip it in the bud before it spreads to the rest of the flock and all hell breaks loose.
Nip it in the bud?
Nip it in the bud. What's wrong with that?
You could just stitch him up.
Was that... What?
You said it like an open wound bleeding, stitch him up.
Well, that's, I mean, kind of, yeah. You have to remove the injured bird, probably the aggressive fucker too, and resolve any of the issues surrounding their environment, food and water. Then you're probably going to be good. So, like I said, it can be managed if you get to it in time. But did you know that apparently you can buy glasses for your chickens?
I think I have seen that.
Yeah, they're tinted to disguise the colour of blood.
Yeah.
To rein in their bloodlust. I also read somewhere about a guy who wanted to start rose-tinted contact lenses for chickens.
Well, I've got $1 million idea from this. This would take off. Tell me it wouldn't take off. So we start a restaurant
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Cannibal Chicken.
Okay.
Yeah? That name alone is going to pull people in. People are going
Right.
to be intrigued. The chickens we serve only ate other chickens. So imagine the flavour off them. It's chicken what ate chicken. You're eating chicken what ate chicken.
We're saying chicken too much. Ty started meowing at the door.
Do you not think that's $1 million idea?
No. I think that's awful.
Well, they died natural causes like circle of life and all that.
But in the meantime, you were feeding them a cannibalistic diet.
Yeah.
No, not so much. I think we're going to have PETA onto us next.
I thought that was a good idea. I'm still working on the gas for helping Labour. And what was my other one? Walmart to say target of serial killer, killing all the customers.
Yeah, slander.
Yeah.
Was your other plan. So, to do with, again, the chickens and their bloodlust, most people, they don't opt for the glasses or the lenses. They generally just install an infrared lamp, and that is used both for heat and to combat, again, the bloodlust issue.
Yeah.
It seems this behaviour is most common in chickens, but ducks, turkeys, quails, pheasants, they're all also twisted bastards.
I bet crows is on that as well.
Do you want me to look into it with crows and see if it makes sense? Now, I got to be honest, you could do a whole series on this. There's a lot of information on cannibalism in poultry. Some chicken farmer needs to jump on this.
Yeah.
I really do think so. So what do you think? Had you ever heard of this before?
Do you know what I think? If a fucking new fast food chain opens in America now called Cannibal Chicken,
You're going to be pissed.
I'm going to be livid. Like, I'm going to be vetting our listeners and finding out who it is. I will find out who the owner is of that chain, and then I'll find out if they've listened to the Mortal Musings podcast.
I think it sounds absolutely twisted what you're proposing.
There's been worse.
I'm sure there has, but that doesn't mean you have to try and beat them.
KFC chickens have about fucking 6 limbs.
But I don't go to KFC.
Well, I've been. This is a normal chicken. What's a normal chicken?
Yeah, that doesn't make it okay. What do you mean by a normal chicken?
Well, another chicken.
Yeah, but you're encouraging cannibalism.
We're not encouraging it. It's happening.
You are encouraging because you're going to make a business out of it and profit from it.
No, right. If a chicken has decided to eat another chicken, you haven't forced that. It's in the chicken's DNA.
No, it's not.
Eat that.
That's the point.
Why is it doing it then?
It's not because it's just like, so they're getting stressed out, yeah?
Yeah.
And they're acting out and aggression can happen and then it's the blood thing. It becomes a thing. It's not like...
Right, okay.
It's not like built into them to cannibalise their fellow flock members.
Well, Peter, don't come after us. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna feed chickens to other chickens, and I don't like birds. I won't go near one.
What are you on about? You don't like birds? You love birds.
I love watching them flying about and stuff.
You don't actually like touch one though or anything.
Absolutely not. Flying rats, most of them.
Thank you so much for listening. Find us on Patreon, TikTok, Facebook and Instagram. If you have a case suggestion or maybe even your own story, email us at mortalmusingspodcast@gmail.com.